Hello everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Santos. I am cloud DevOps engineer and I worked with local automation in the last 2 years. Uh, just put this thing down. Yeah, good idea. You can make it be file. Okay, that's it. Yep. All right. Okay. So before I start, we are API based event, right? So this is my recognition of API events and API technology. So today I'm using a no-code automation. I know behind the scenes there are lots of API working for me. So this is my thank you for the community. So this is my agenda for today. I will talk about my history at LG Booker and some automations that I learned, and I'll bring you the most relevant of the hacks and demo. So I don't know if any one of you know LG Booker. So LG Booker is 97 years old company. So they are one of the leading company in real estate business in Australia. So what that means, they have their own legacy, right? So when you are old in business means good, and legacy is important as well. But unfortunately, in IT, legacy doesn't mean good. After all these years, they use a server desktop application, which helps a lot, but now have a few challenges to use this application. Basically, this legacy system holds the business hand for innovation, change, and a lot of things. So a few years ago, LG Group decided to move on and to new applications. So we basically the company on low core business application to SaaS application. So this is just one of the stats we use today. And but with this change, bring us a few challenges. So I just listed the three ones we have: user authentication, onboarding users, and system integration. Right? And for that reason, we decided to use Make as our main middleman integration tool in all of these platforms. And now let's go direct to the hacks. So just going back to our challenge, the first one is super easy to solve, right? Anyone knows here that single sign-on can use one of the IDPs we have in the market, could be Okta, could be OneLogin. So we choose Okta. Or user provisioning. So for who doesn't know what user provisioning means. So every time you have a new user, you create a user on Okta, and Okta or OneLogin have this feature called user provisioning. They create a user for you on your other application, right? And they sell this as a service as well. It's a new feature. And for us, will be two options. Have two options to get this feature. Moving up to the second tier, we changes from the $6 per user per month for $70, or we can just buy the feature individually. So just yeah. So what do you guys think? Can we review this feature in a low-code tool? Do you think it's possible? So 2 years ago, I want to be very honest, no code application was literally a joke. So anyone in my network and I talk, oh, I'm looking for a no code tool to do automation, then no one rely on that. They think, oh, we can do basic automation, but not sophisticated or bring with business value into this automation. But we did, and we did in two parts. So our automation solved two problems for us. The first one, we, as I mentioned, we have a legacy system, 30 years old, using a language called Clarion. I never heard about that language. But the point is that application didn't have an API. So how can I connect this old system into our new stack with SaaS application? So, but this application have one feature in particular. We are able to export CSV files. So we basically schedule our export every time you have a user creation or update. We export a file, CSV file. We save this file into a S3 bucket, and file S3 bucket, S3 bucket. Now what happened? So we use another AWS service called SNS for notification. And every time a file is uploaded on S3 bucket, this service communicates with Make and send a message to Make, right? So this solves the first part of our problem, connect our legacy system to the new application. And this message become a trigger for my automation Make. So I received this message from SNS notification, which I use a module to parse your JSON or make it easier to read. And I use a module to download this file from AWS, and I use this CSV file as my input to my automation. So I solved the first problem. And let's go to the second part, user provision. As I mentioned before, this process is made by Okta or Wobogin, and they use a protocol called SC. And many of, let's say 99% of the SaaS application don't allow you to use this protocol unless you are an identity provider. So there is a barrier, the protection, let's say that way. But I did a search on HubSpot API endpoints, and I figured out they have endpoints for user creation outside of the C protocol. So give me a light. And then I started building, my process using endpoint as well. So I found this solution on HubSpot. I found this on NetSuite, and many other SaaS have this user creation process via the APIs as well. The only one that's not able to do that is Canva, but most recently they announced a better version to do user creation updates via the APIs as well. So with this change, so this is the automation for onboarding users on HubSpot. Just to give a perspective how much money we are spending on this automation. This automation itself, the last 20 months, we used, let's say, 13,000 credits in May. And when you go to the price tier, we are on the Pro account, so which costs us $34 just for provisioning users on Make on HubSpot platform. And so just remember, if I use the Okta feature, it's going to cost us $4 per user. We have around 4,000 users, so the total result is going to be 16,000. So if you think $16,000 budget, you can hire 4 junior engineers, so you are using provision for you, right? But we have 4,000 users, but we can't do use 4,000 user provision every week. We just train. This is the average. We train 20 users per week. So we come to the final result. We solve 2 problems. We spend around $300 a month doing provisioning accounts on Make. This includes HubSpot, NetSuite, and a few others. We use 2. And we solve the integration issue that I told you. And also, this comes to the last item to keep our SaaS in a lower tier. And keep our SaaS in a lower tier is something that's bring our attention and, let's say, kind of obsession as well, because we want to pay less for our SaaS. And this comes to my second hack. And fortunately for us, unfortunately for Make, this hack is against them. So basically, 2 years ago, I had no experience with no-code application. The market was very new in that space. And when I did assessment on those platforms, one of my requirements to the business was I need 24/7 support. I don't have no one in the company that know Make. I don't know Make. This is my condition to work with Make. And also during my assessment, which connection I need, I figured out that NetSuite connector was only accessible via the enterprise accounts because they are part of the Access Enterprise app, right? But what happened after 2 years, I, let's say, did lots of prototyping, put a lot of projects in production, I did basically all main academy, and I'm just one step to get the latest, the highest basic certification to be expert, the platform. So I don't need 24/7 support. And also, we did a few changes in our environments. For dev test environments, we don't need to run an enterprise model. We can run a pro account. And I raised tickets in these tiers. And to be honest, I don't know if I talked to the same person, but the response was almost the same. So support on the pro level for tier is the same as an enterprise. So I don't need support 24/7 for enterprise as well. And again, after 2 years, I learned how to create custom modules, right? And remember, NetSuite model is just on the enterprise tier, but now I know how to build models. So basically, I have necessity to create custom model for entire APIs. Also, may have 3,000 modules to connect to a bunch of SaaS application, but it doesn't have or doesn't cover all the SaaS endpoints. Let's say HubSpot again. HubSpot should have around 300 or 400 endpoints, and it doesn't support all of them. But you can customize their modules to connect to any other endpoints as well. So in 1 year time, it's going to be a time for renovation, and this is going to be another cost reduction for us. Unfortunately, I cannot just open the price how you pay for enterprise because it's a negotiation for each company have different price. But I can tell you, we can reduce at least 50% our cost we make or even more. So let's finish my hacks. I will talk about my demo. So 3 months ago, a friend of mine told me, Anderson, are you following the news AI agent? And I saw someone telling me that we can do automation to AI agent. And if you talk to ChatGPT create automations to use email. So basically, the company doesn't need you anymore. So you can just talk to ChatGPT as to create automation for you. They give you the JSON file, and you can import email or any can. I was scared. What I did, I started looking for all events the last 3 months of AI. So that's how I met Hunt. I met one of these events, and this was my conclusion. So I wrote this on a LinkedIn post, and yes, I think AI is pretty good, but it's not ready to replace our automation, local automation. And however, 2 years work with a no-code tool, I had a lot of questions in my mind. And for me, the most relevant is, do you have a job to work in that space? And a job, what's the industry speaking about no-code? And I did this question 2 years ago. I basically typed on LinkedIn, Seek, Indeed, keywords like no-code, make, NHN. And the answer of 2 years ago was nothing. Nothing, no job at all. No one is looking for this kind of skills. But 3 months ago, I did the same search, and I saw something coming up. And with this, I started doing my automation. I saved search and with these topics, and every day I receive email with this with some jobs that could rescue these skills, right? But it just only part of the search because the second part was open the job description, copy the content, paste in LinkedIn, and ask, hey, ChatGPT, sorry, can you compare this job description with my LinkedIn profile and tell me 3 things, right? Tell me in percentage how much my profile matches this job advertising. Give me a summary of your analysis. And the last one, give me your recommendation. Should apply or not for this role? And why not? Like I say, I start doing this every day, every morning. And after a week, I just realized, hey, I'm doing a well-defined process and very repetitive work. I need to automate this. I do this every day. And I did using Make. So this is the workflow. I will open in 3 minutes. This is the result. So in 3 months, okay, I just to explain one detail. I create a rule on my Outlook to forward all emails from LinkedIn, Seek, and Indeed to Make. Make has a email hook. So Make receive this message and process this message. So I forward for almost 500 emails to Make. Each mail has one or more jobs, and in return, I receive almost 350 email job with decision to apply, and with a score of more 80%. So that result for me is let's say is is a change. 2 years time, no one was looking for local skills, and today we have something. I'm not saying there are a lot of jobs, but there are something now. So this is 3 months, and probably we have duplicates here because companies just duplicate jobs as in two platforms at the same time. So we have duplications here, but now I have something. So let's go with demo. Let's say do this now. So this is my workflow, right? So start with an email hook. Once you do a click, you can see this is the email that may provide to you. Just copy, and you can create your Outlook rule to forward this email to this email, and I will do that right now. Send. This is one other email with 1, 2, 3 few jobs. Send, and a couple of seconds, Make is gonna receive this message and process. That's it. Okay, it's there. So receive, send the message to ChatGPT. I'm using ChatGPT. You can use other LLM. It's no problem. Seconds to finish. Okay. Outlook.
We were on Wi-Fi.
Okay. So yeah, the message start coming. I think it was 5 or 6 jobs. Let's open one. So this is the return I got. Job title, company location. So this is one of the questions I asked ChatGPT to answer. So I have 92% of match. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this one. If it's close related, yes. And this is the whole reasoning about the analysis. I have other things. I create this button here that sends me to the job of an apply or not. So this is the whole. So yes, so this is the end of my demo. I would like to finish with one message. Automation has become more democratic right now. Every tool, Jira, any ticket system have their own workflows for automation. And more recently, the platform are including AI agent as well. So you guys can automate anything. There is no business related. My use case was infrastructure, but you can automate any department, any role, any task or process, right? Make is one tool. I know NHS become popular more recently. To be honest, it's my plan B. And that's it. I think I finished. I finished my demo. That's all for today. Thank you very much for your time. And let's just go back to the presentation. And if you want to connect to LinkedIn, send me a message. I'll share this automation to you. So any automation you do on Make or any can you can share. All right, is the JSON file. So send me a message link. I share this automation to you. I give you step by step how to step. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.
That's awesome. Okay, any questions? Guys, any questions?
LinkedIn Premium account or versus the main. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's the feature in the LinkedIn Premium account. So can you describe one feature?
Oh, well, I know LinkedIn Premium will recommend these jobs. To me, it feels like, I mean, I don't have an engineering background, but to me, it feels like what you've done is kind of replicated, but also made better feature that exists. What it needs to work for. I don't know if it's like, we found 5 jobs, maybe that would be perfect match.
Okay, how much that exactly match your mind? Well, based on your experience, how much of this time really match?
I haven't used it, so I don't know.
Okay.
So I was just wondering, but well, maybe you can just, how much it takes. What's the cost of
Email.
running something like what you've got?
Okay, I think there's something. So this is my prompt that is sent to ChatGPT. I'm not expert in prompt, so I use ChatGPT to create this prompt for me. So I know there are experts in data and they are prompt engineers as well. They can make this much better, right? This is the first thing. In terms of cost, I'm using Make. Make has 1,000 operations free per month, but I'm using ChatGPT. ChatGPT $20 a month. But I just heard another day, Gemini, you can use their API for free for a amount of credits. If you run, let's say, a local LLM can run for free. You can replace ChatGPT for a local LLM for free. I didn't test it. Technically, it's possible, but I don't know what's the quality of the output, right? Did I answer your question?
Yes.
You're welcome.